He's a young man that's born on the Gold Coast. So he's up to over 150 NRL games now, Jai Arrow. And he had surgery to a shoulder as well before the end of the season. He tried to get into the season as much as he could at the back end, but he had to succumb to the shoulder injury. And we're going to find out what he's been doing over the off season. How are you, Jai?
Yeah, good boys, really good.
Hey, now before we get to your footy and your shoulder, you've finally given in, haven't you? Proposed to the misso on the Amalfi Coast. How long did that take you to prepare?
Yeah, so I decided to bite the bullet and put myself off the market. So I didn't. I actually proposed in Taormina in Italy. So plan was that we had some people coming over, and it didn't take me too long to plan. I made up the decision, and anyway, one of our family friends, Michelle, she decided to, all right, you idiot, let's go and get a ring then. So she came and helped, and then she took the ring over because we were meeting them over there, and there was one of the days that I specifically wanted to do it. So she came over with the ring to the hotel, and you know what, I wasn't nervous at all up until I saw Michelle pull out the box, and I went, uh-oh, here we go. My heart started pumping, but it was obviously a lovely day, and hopefully Barina enjoyed it.
Mate, I saw the ring. It looks like the biggest cubic zirconia I've ever seen, mate. How much did it send you back?
No, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. Look, I guess it's nice that she well, to tell the honest truth, her actual rock, I guess you could call it, is at the jeweler. So they gave me a lab grown to propose with, but we've got to go and pick up her actual diamond. But that's what it'll look like.
Oh, that's smart. Yeah. That's smart because the lab diamond, you can get it about a fifth of the price,
yep.
and you can't tell the difference. But
yes.
It's all about, you'd know, Jai, that if the female knows, because you have to get these things insured.
They sniff it out.
If they go, right, I'll go, I'll look after that Dar, don't worry, I'll get the insurance covered, and they find out that it's fake, it could be the end of the relationship. Yep. So you've done it with the fake.
Well, I did tell her that. I was honest about that. She didn't really care too much. She was just obviously didn't expect it, and very appreciative that I suppose grew a set and got down on one knee. So we're happy. Or I'm happy. I don't know if she is. She could be miseries to her for saying yes. So good luck to her, but. I'll do my best anyway.
Do you know what? I've known Jai for quite a long time, and he's a horrible liar. Like, he's got a horrible lying face. Yeah. Like, he just gives him... Like, you wouldn't rob a bank with him, put it that way.
Yeah.
Okay?
Love to play poker against him.
He would wilt under interrogation. Okay. So, did she have any idea? Because, usually some of the missos can smell it. They can smell it coming a mile away.
Well, no, to be honest, she says she didn't, and I personally don't think she did. There's things that are going on in our lives at the moment that we're probably prioritising at the moment. And, I've said, look, let's just get through that. And then, maybe one day I'll think about it. So she wasn't expecting it. But, she broke down. She was shocked. It took her breath away. She had to sit down and realise what I had done to her. So, it was a pretty special moment. It's something I'll remember.
Mate, I'm going through the same process at the moment, Jai. Do you know how expensive weddings are, mate? What's the deal like at the Bunnies? You're on contract till when? 2030?
Another couple of years.
Yeah, end of 27. So,
you probably want to look at extending
my mortgage is killing me at the moment. So, my mortgage is killing me. So, maybe end of 2026 we've thought about. So I've got a couple of years to save me pennies.
Well, Sats, I think about Jai Arrow, and a big Bunnies fan, and to me he epitomises what the Bunnies all about. Last year played through a lot of pain. You could tell shoulder was not right. Bunnies were in a comparable position. They weren't doing well. Weren't going to make the finals, but Jai Arrow continually stepped forward. Tell you're playing through pain. Let's get on to some serious stuff. How is the shoulder now, mate? Firstly, and as a big Bunnies fan, what can I expect from this playing group next season?
Yeah, sure. The shoulder is really good, as good as can be at this point in time. I am maybe 3.5, 4 months post-surgery. Actually having my first run tomorrow with the club, so I'm excited about that, which helps, and they're happy with where it's at. They knew I was going on a fairly big trip, and I don't know whether they were worried I was going to keep up my rehab and whatnot, but they're happy with where it's at, thank God. So I haven't annoyed anyone, and the new big boss that's coming back can't get annoyed with me because I did do my rehab, so that's a plus. And what can you expect from the team next year? I think Wayne will speak a lot about effort and not letting our fans down, not letting ourselves down, and I feel as though if we can do that week in and week out, results will eventually turn for us. And we obviously had a disappointing year this year, but the beauty of it is we get a fresh start. We have someone that's familiar to a lot of people at the club in Wayne coming back, and I have no doubts the playing group have the utmost respect for Wayne and really want to play for him and not let him down. So, I think the main two things next year that we'll be focused on is effort and enjoyment as well. So, just excited to get back into it. We obviously, as footy players, are very lucky we get a fair break, but pre-season is only around the corner, only a couple of weeks away now. So that's exciting.
Well, it was always rumoured that he was possibly returning, Jai, and I know you've had history with Wayne. But what was your first reaction when it was announced officially that he was returning to the Bunnies?
I just started giggling, to be honest. I just sort of laughed to myself and thought it's funny how things seem to work out. Especially being at Brisbane with him for my first 2 years of my career, and then leaving that club to then 3 years later, him picking up the phone and giving me a phone call to come down to South, which I did. And then I spent 1 year with him here, and he pissed off again. And then, a couple of years later, he's doing the U-turn from Queensland and come back down to Sydney. So I more just giggle to myself, and I'm obviously very excited. I have I'd like to think, hopefully he thinks it's a good relationship with him, and, anyone will tell you he gets the best out of his players. So hopefully he can get the best out of the playing squad next year. And just a lot of excitement and a lot of giggling when I found out.
That's a strange response, isn't it, to Wayne? I would have thought, that would have straightened me up proper knowing that Wayne, because he strikes me as the sort of bloke who's very serious. But you chat to the players and you'd be able to lead into this job. Behind the scenes, he's quite the larrikin and gets along, and that's why
he lives vicariously through the players, doesn't he, Jai?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I don't want to say this, he's starting to get on. You'd say he's starting to get on. So he's got to live through, I suppose, us young fellas and see what we're getting up to in our lives. I'm pretty sure he just eats chocolate for a living now. So,
Oh, mate, that's great. Look, you
has to paint him in chocolate.
Well, that's a lot of Cadbury bars, I reckon you would have had to get him for a couple of $1 million worth.
Yeah. 1.2 to be exact, you reckon?
He's counting. Mate, you've got. We're looking at the squad. It's a strong squad. Is there anyone in that squad at the moment you think, wow, they're looking forward to him this season, that you think is going to have a breakout year? Maybe a youngster that hasn't maybe been identified yet, or is a public image or noticed player that you think, geez, he's going to be a star?
Yeah, I think so. In our WhatsApp group, we got sent a list, and there's a lot of new boys coming in. From what I remember looking at it, but I think one fella and one guy who kind of, I guess, had a breakout year, and I'm excited to watch grow again this year is Talis Duncan. I think he has a real opportunity to cement the spot in the 17 week in and week out. And really showcase himself as a player, and I just love what he brings to the side. He's tough. He loves the nitty gritty sides of things, and he's got a bit of mungle in him. So I enjoy watching him play, and I'm excited to play more footy with him. And he's obviously a very skillful ball player as well. Who's I suppose he's buying his trade under Cam Murray. So I'm excited to see Tallis to hopefully have another breakout year this year.
Now, Liam Knight and yourself, you lived together for a while. Is that right, Jai?
Yes, unfortunately, Sats. Thanks for reminding me.
Yeah, so there were rumours that is he returning back to South, and if so, will both he and Danica be moving in with yourself and your
wife to be,
your fiance?
So I'm not 100% sure on that. I know there was, he was saying there was talks of it, but I suppose didn't really go into detail too much because he doesn't want to jinx anything. But I'm more than happy to help Danica out and have her here at the house because I don't know how she puts up with him, and nor I hope she sees the light and gets rid of him because she's absolutely kidding herself. Yeah.
What's the story of the blonde hair? Like, did he lose a bet, Liam, or?
I think that was he had to roll a dice apparently at the Bulldogs.
Oh,
so he had to roll a dice,
yep.
and they have all different things for certain numbers, and he got the dye your hair blonde and was happy to do that. But let's just hope Danica sees the light and finds bigger and better things than Liam Knight.
You've got to pay off that mortgage, mate. So I reckon get him.
Nah, joke's not. I love him, bro.
Get him in the house. He seems like a ripper, lovely bloke.
Yeah,
Liam Knight.
pretty popular. Yeah,
they're in Taramina now, actually. So maybe there's a ring brewing.
Oh,
you reckon Danica's keen to go?
They went
again?
over for Sammy Burgess's wedding, didn't they?
Okay.
Yeah, so they were in Rome for Sammy's wedding, and they're doing a fairly big trip with themselves. And at the moment they're in Taramina, so look out.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like that.
Yeah, I like the idea
that.
of it. Can you tell me about Tallis Duncan? You mentioned him before, the headgear. Is it superstition why he wears it the first half and then takes it off? Is that superstitious, or is it just he just gets a bit hot?
No, I think that's I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure his mum is pretty stern with it and said, "I want you to wear the headgear at the start of the game." So, as all good sons do, listen to their mothers. And he goes out there and wears a headgear, but I'm assuming as soon as he gets over it, he takes it off. So that's a genuine, I'm being genuine there. I'm not actually joking. I'm pretty sure his mum is pretty stern and said, I just want you to wear the headgear when you first start the game, and then as things go on, I'm all right with you to take it off. So that just shows the character he is. He's such a good fella. He obviously listens to his mum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Jai. So what is it? 10 weeks now from your last game of the season as a club before you can go back to training through the collective bargaining agreement. So when's day one for the entire squad?
So obviously a bit different for the boys who have representative duties. With Camo, Keon, Saliva from memory.
Yep.
So those boys won't be back till late January, so they miss a big chunk of pre-season. But the rest of us plebs, will be fully back November 18th. But I know there's young boys are going back next week. So good luck to them, but I'll see you November 18th.
That's what happens when you play 150 games.
Yeah.
Different standards.
Exactly.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, technically, throughout, as soon as I got back, I've actually been into training the last 2 days. I've had treatment and done a little bit of rehab stuff. So I'll technically be training throughout the weeks up until that point, but I'm not officially due back until November 18th.
Good stuff. Hey, Jai, always love getting you on Sports Day. I hope the recovery's going well with the shoulder. Congratulations on the engagement and everything else. Talk to you in the new year.